be famous.
Never giving up, never thinking twice. Never gonna stop, gotta pay the price. To read all the compliments and invites to places where parties go till sunlight. Always gotta show just a little more. Always gotta make you love me. Money and fame is all that I'm after. Be my addiction, I wanna be.
Oh baby, you want me. Oh baby, you want me. Oh baby, you want me.
Hello and welcome to the Nonsense Chronicles. As always, this is Doug Sassery, and I am joined by
Rob Mendiola.
Hey Rob. How you doing today, buddy?
Pretty good, man.
A good Monday, and I still sound like
You've been dealing with your cough situation.
but only when I sleep. It only likes to show up when I sleep, so I can't sleep. But that recliner bed's doing it's on its.
Recliner bed.
Hey, well, you sit up because if you lay down, it's no good.
Yeah.
But during the day today, I was actually able to lay down and sleep. So we're getting there.
I'm still not there yet.
You know, it was the Elephant Man that had to. Wait, was that right? Yeah, the Elephant Man. If you've ever seen the movie, the Elephant Man, he could not lay down, and eventually he did, and that's how he passed. But yeah, he could not lay down. He had to kind of basically sit up. So that's basically.
Yeah, ever since I was in the hospital, 6 months of sleeping like that, that's kind of how I sleep now.
Now you sleep at an angle.
So,
Do you
yeah.
have a hospital bed, or do you just use a lot of pillows?
A lot of pillows, like 4 or
Yeah.
5 of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get it now.
But, whatever it takes,
That's right. And today we're joined by Mr. Carlos Gutierrez of the band Inner Image. How you doing, Carlos?
Man, I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys
Cool.
are too.
Yeah,
Doing
definitely.
all right. It's Monday.
Still alive, still breathing.
Yes, exactly. Still alive.
Hell
Still
yeah.
alive,
Right?
baby.
If I open my eyes, it's a good day.
For sure.
That's right. And all three of us this past weekend, we had a celebration of life we've talked about him on this podcast before, and he's been a guest, John Janish, and he had everybody show up, from the Houston music scene there. And then Lacey Sturman, her husband, Josh, showed up because John was a big supporter of hers over the years, and he's worked with so many people.
Yeah, he'll go down as a legendary Houston promoter.
Oh, God,
Sure.
yeah. Yeah.
Remembered.
And Carlos, he was a huge God. Every time we wanted to do something, if John had something special going on, I could guarantee Inner Image was in that set of bands that was going to definitely
Oh,
play.
yeah.
It
He
was
always wanted them there, yeah, for sure.
yeah. And I don't know if he had pictures. They had pictures of John or something like that. I don't know what it was, but yeah, he was a big supporter, man.
You know what? I didn't realize how much he talked about us until his passing. The messages, the emails, the phone calls, people I didn't even know had my number and so forth, and everybody's like, "Hey, how are you feeling?"
Yeah.
I like direct messages. People asking me like, "How am I feeling?" It's like I'm hurting like everybody else, but
No, he
it was
talk-
weird that people were saying they're like, because he talked about.
I
you guys
guarantee.
so much.
Yeah, I guarantee. He talked to you like he would a son, man. He had every time in my messages, and let alone it was called, like I said with John, I would text him just because I just had to get something in. I want to get going with my day, but I'm here. I'm Papa John a message, but I should always know that's never going to work because he's going to pick up the phone and call me. That's 40 minutes, buddy. 40 minutes. If you're getting dressed, you better get dressed while he's calling because he is calling. And he always Inner Image. It was always Inner Image. Everything that he did.
I mean, that's a testament to you guys, though. That they could dig y'all that much, So
That's really cool, man.
That you're cool people because, he didn't mess around with anybody who he didn't like,
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Because I know.
And he had a strong stand on stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he did. Because
He
he'd
did.
call me sometimes and be like, "Hey,
Oh, yeah.
you know so and so,
Yeah.
not dealing with them again."
Right.
And
Yeah.
it was like, "Hey, man, it's."
So if you're on his good list, that says a lot about
Yeah, well, I mean,
who you are.
they put out good music, but also, it was reliability. And
Yeah.
he
if
could
he
always
took time to call you,
Yeah.
that means a lot. That you're you're probably doing pretty good. You know.
I agree.
Yeah, you know, and obviously, just like every relationship, you know, it happens over the years, you know, and you start kind of talking to each other more, and then becomes into an actual friendship more than
Yeah.
just like, hey, this is the guy that we deal with, or
Yeah.
for connections or something. You know, it quickly evolved into a friendship because as we started to get into our personal lives and telling each other stories, it felt more like, man, I'm just hanging around with a good friend. And then it got to the point where it's like you felt good about saying things you don't normally just say out loud.
I call it the
you know?
music family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's definitely family. He's definitely family.
And that's how that's how we became friends, because just John would interject you into so many things, and I was glad to meet those guys, and they're just good people. All the guys in your group are really just good guys. Man.
Awesome.
He knew
Thanks.
knew when somebody was good, and he knew good music. So
Yeah,
I'd say when you were hitting with him, you know, you're doing something right. So
yeah. And it was.
we should all strive to do that, though. You know,
Oh yeah,
with everyone.
we're definitely gonna miss him.
Yeah.
We definitely do
I,
already.
I agree. You know, it's a different situation now. A lot of people were filling in and doing different stuff over that time, but you know, he taught a lot of those people how to do that job, man. You know, and they'll get it done. You know, it always.
yeah.
All of us are. We're only here for a little blink of time, man. You
Oh, yeah.
know, and
I mean, somebody always has to take over. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, and you want to leave behind a high enough bar, just an incredible standard, so that everybody says that's where I should start at. I should be at that level, and then from there strive to become even better.
Yeah.
You know, and
Takes
yeah,
work,
yeah, it takes work, but,
dedication, commitment.
I mean, yeah. Hey, you learn that in the Marine Corps immediately.
Yeah.
You know, you go in young on hard charging, you realize somebody else has got to take over because you can't keep doing it forever.
now,
Yeah.
did you go to Paris Island or did you go to San Diego?
San Diego, and then sniper school in Quantico.
Okay,
Wow.
nice, man.
You
It
know,
might-
but yeah, and that same thing, just like that, you have to just realize, you know what? After a while, you got to let somebody else take over.
Yeah,
And
my-
so you got to teach them.
my dad did Paris Island, so you know I've heard all the stories, you know, growing up, and that's Marines, man. Now you're not the only one military in your group, are you?
No, our drummer, Rich Moore, he's actually about to retire. He's
Wow.
got 20 something years
Wow.
in
Which branch?
So he's Army.
Yeah,
Yeah, unfortunately.
yeah. I mean, that's what it is.
Nah, that's the best thing about it, though. You know, we have such. I mean, Rich and I have become like really, really good friends, and part of it is a lot of the jokes that we just. Can I curse on here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, come on. I don't wanna
encourage
I,
it.
I don't want to say the wrong things, yeah, because
not
military
on radio.
language, yeah,
We're not on radio.
Military language, yeah, right. But no, I mean, we'll fuck around with jokes like crazy, you know, and that's just things that branches do,
Yeah.
and you don't take it too hard. It's like the more you can actually make jokes and dick with each other, that right there just starts to kind of build like, hey, I could hang around with this dude,
Yeah.
and then having the music with us and so forth, like it built it up
That's
so
such
much
bonding.
more.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so now we're
There's a lot of
really
military
great
guys
friends.
in our music scene.
Oh
right?
yeah,
It's-
yeah. There's quite a bit. I know there's another Devil Dog.
Yeah.
Scotty Frazier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Very good
his
friend of
boy.
mine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, what about
he's real cool.
the guy? Was that the guy that was with you the other night at the event? Who was with you?
That played with us?
Yeah,
That took over?
The guys in your band. I always forget his damn name.
So the lead guitarist, Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Was that
Yeah.
who I talked to? Remember, I told you I was gonna.
He's from Louisiana, right?
We were gonna
Yeah,
talk. We were gonna.
he's a coon.
Yeah, we were gonna talk. We were gonna talk about a coon ass. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a coon ass.
Yeah, we were gonna talk about when we were talking about Carlos who's gonna be on the thing, and we said, well, yeah, we're gonna talk about everybody that's not there. We're gonna talk bad about. Them. Is that which one is that? Who was that?
Man, I don't even remember, but that was probably Jeremy. The one with the busted hand
He had
that
the-
made the whole joke about playing Fortnite and
I think that was
damaged
him.
his
Yeah.
foreskin.
Okay. Yeah.
Which video games, right?
Love video games, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what
he's
told,
a gamer.
Yeah,
He's a gamer.
Oh, okay.
That's probably how he really injured his hand.
that's
He was
right.
like,
Yeah.
I was out there fishing. Like I was out there, building homes for the blind or something. It's
Right.
like whatever.
tell some
Gaming.
tell some story like that. Yeah. I think I did that. Yeah, when Scotty Austin will be playing somewhere and he'll do a shout out, which a lot of musicians will. They'll do a shout out. They have a song that they'll say for the vets, and I'll tell him after. I'm like, man, me and you play Call of Duty almost every night when you're not on the road. You didn't even give me a shout out, dude. Yeah, no,
That's funny.
Right, to all those hardcore Call of Duty.
Yeah,
fans,
that's right. That's right, man. But no, y'all.
You're like, I've been busting down doors in Afghanistan for the last 12 hours. So like straight, nonstop. Never had to stop for water, reload, nothing. Wow, that's amazing. That's
300 tours.
right. I've done 300 tours
That's very true,
in
man.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
Brave gamers. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
No, we did. How long have y'all? How long has Inner Image been together, man?
Oh man, been together probably 12 years now.
Wow.
But we didn't start playing till like a year and a half into it.
Yeah.
We got together and I was like, all right, I want to write a bunch of really good music and put on a hell of a show, so that when you come out, I want it to be that we are competition. Like that's how we started. Nobody wants to go out there and everybody's like, yeah, that was okay. Yeah, you made 2 fans. Nah, we wanted to go out there and kick ass.
You want to be good, yeah.
Yeah. And so when we finally did decide to, hey, all right, now we're going to do a show. It was some crappy little warehouse. I don't even remember the name of it. In the middle of nowhere in the boonies. And John was there. So we played. And after we finished, he came up and he's like, hey, I got 2 questions for you. 1, who the fuck are you? And 2, why the fuck are you playing in this shithole? And he was like, nah. He's like, I'm going to put you somewhere right.
Wow.
And then he put us with
Sounds just like John.
with Drowning Pool.
Oh, wow.
And like at BFE, and we were the first band to play like 7. And CJ, the guitarist, saw us. And
CJ Pierce?
yeah,
You
CJ
had him?
Pierce. And he saw us, and afterwards he talked to John, and he was like, hey man, that first band that played, these motherfuckers set the bar. And every other band that came after just didn't compete. So he goes, we play in Bryan the next day over by College Station. I want Inner Image there. And John's like, how the fuck am I supposed to just put them there? And CJ was like, I don't know, but make it happen. So at around 3:30 in the morning, John's calling me up and he's like, hey, can you get your guys over there at College Station tomorrow? And he explained the whole story. And I was like, yeah, let me call everybody up. So I called everybody up and we went over there and we had tacos and Coronas with them. And then we doors open like at 7 and we went on like 7:05.
Wow.
But it was already max capacity. They
Wow.
they had this long line. It was just an amazing time. And again, then we just rocked the house. And ever since then, Drowning Pool would come by and we would continuously get to play with them because they would ask for us and stuff. And so he just kind of, put us on the right path.
Yeah.
And then he just believed in us. And all I ever wanted to do is just record a song on a CD. I was like, hey, I want to be old one day and be like, look, I'm on a CD.
Yeah.
That's
And they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is a CD?"
Yeah.
But that
At least it
that,
went 8-track.
but that was the ultimate goal, and John is the one that actually put it on to fruition and made it explode so much more. So
Cool.
that was cool.
And y'all are so unique. They don't push a lot of shows, and they put out something. I had to explain to somebody the other day. I'm telling anybody that listens to this podcast, listen to Inner Image. You can find them on any platform, and listen to the song "Famous." It came out last year, which is 2022, and it is the most spot on sign of the time song, and it got a lot of play. But if that song would have just got picked up by anybody else, it would have had 1 billion listens, because I think it's well done musically, but it's the timing and everything on it. Subject matter is fantastic. And I I licked his face about that song about 1,000,000 times, but it is that good. I was really impressed by.
Awesome.
Where do y'all record usually?
We recorded at this little house over at a
Oh, wow.
friend of ours, Wade. You know him?
Wade? I don't think I
Wade. What's his last name? Consigne, something like that. Concinne, I think.
Consign,
Something like that.
something like that.
I don't
Wayne
know.
Consign.
I just know Wade.
Wade. Now,
Yeah, so
I'm kind of thinking I'm
He's
heard of
like
him.
in Friendswood, I think. Something
Okay.
something out there.
Wow.
But he's worked with a lot of other Houston bands and artists, all type of music,
And he does everything: mixing, recording, mixing, all
Yep,
that.
all of that.
Vinyl.
Really talented guy.
Wow.
And I will definitely say this guy has a really great ear for
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah,
as
it's
far
obvious.
as far as what is actually going to be radio play,
Yeah.
I would say, because we'll go in there sometimes with ideas and he'll chop it up and be like, this is too long, this and that. So he'll start to modify, and so some things I'm like, nope, we're leaving this shit, and other things he's against it and so forth.
Yeah.
So after we battle it out, then we go through. But then when I go in there and sing, his ear and his instruction to make me a better singer.
So he's a
is
producer as well.
really good. Oh yeah,
Sound engineer, producer. Yeah.
yeah. This guy's multi-talented, really, really good. So ever since we started using him, we use him all the time. Also for cinematography for videos.
Oh, wow.
And everything, he does that as well.
Very cool.
Our latest track, Till Then, we made the acoustic version of it recently. He filmed it. His wife, Holly, is actually the one that features on it.
Yeah, who's the other girl? You know what? I was trying to remember the other day. I said somebody did, because I love that when somebody will take a very good song of theirs and then they'll redo it a little bit and have it. And yeah, I couldn't remember the other day. I was like, who is that? They had them. They were sitting down and there was a girl. I couldn't remember who it was. So now I need to go and listen to that version of it. Yeah.
Yeah. When I originally wrote the song, I wrote it to be intimately an acoustic. But then we went in the studio and we started adding some more power. You know how it is. You
Yeah.
just start like, hey, this is good. This sounds good. And it came out great. I really enjoyed the full blown version. But at the same time, I kept thinking in the back of my head, like, you know what? I really wanted to deliver the message of it. And it's meant to be intimate, as if you can sing it just slow like this,
Yeah.
right in front, close to the mic. And so we said, all right. We told Rich, get off the drums. You're going to play guitar, and we got the guitarist. And then we're like, we want piano, and
Cool.
wanted to add a female vocalist to it and so forth. And then it just happened. We're like, all right, hit record. And then it just came out. And
Cool.
Man, I love that kind of stuff.
Oh, it was good. We've lucked out. I mean, I think in the first 9 days, it had over 150,000 streams worldwide, and Asia is loving us.
Wow.
They're like,
Isn't that cool?
They're like 77%.
That's cool.
of all the streams, and we're like, yay!
He is a very numbers
Yeah.
guy
That's
on
cool.
his stuff. He doesn't. That's why I said they don't play a lot of shows. He's talked to me about this before, where it's they plant stuff here and they plant stuff there, and he hope he gets it in Europe. That's or in Asia.
Yeah,
Yeah, so-
I'm definitely analytical. I'm a numbers guy.
Yeah.
I like accuracy. I like precision. I like to look at those things. I mean,
That's
you got
my
one
work.
shot. You put it out, you got one shot. I mean, come on, it's a sniper to me.
Like I said, I mean, I agree. That stuff is man, it's so hard today. Where what's going to catch, but y'all do some really good stuff. Like I said, seems like to me, well, as I'm watching them, everything is very measured the way it's put out, and it's just drop a bunch. Not that there's nothing wrong with people just consistently do it, but they are very measured on how they play shows,
Yeah,
on how they
methodical.
release. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hands down to those people that just continuously write and this and that. I think that's amazing. But we all have lives and careers and families. We're all family guys and everything. So we don't always get to do that all the time. And a lot of songs we'll write and we'll jam, and it'll be a good jam. But if I don't feel it becomes like, oh, this song's just going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, we trash it. We won't even do it. Even though sometimes people are like, no, that's a good song. This and that. But like, no, it's a really good B-side.
Oh yeah.
Right. For those that know tape still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Everybody's like, what's
Still.
B? You know, but
45s.
Yeah. Record. Yeah.
you know, but yeah, we'll just be like, yeah, that was a good song. That was a good jam. But it's like, it's not one, honestly, that,
Where you feel might be the hit.
yeah, exactly. I don't feel it'll be a hit. I feel like I will eventually not want to sing it on stage. Like, it's just not as good.
And that happens a lot with producers. They'll listen to your guys' music and they'll go, now get in there and write me a hit.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what that's all about, you know.
Yep. Yep.
Not that it's not good, it's just doesn't have that everything, you know.
No,
Yeah.
they come across as very, anal on just getting exactly what they want out. And
Well, people like to be surprised, and you know, when you hear a song that makes you like, oh wow, you know, I think that's what it is. You know, when you feel like you just got surprised by something you heard.
Oh, yeah. And
That's when you know that's
they-
a good song.
yeah, and they beautifully covered "Come Undone" by Duran Duran. But
Yeah.
it's that famous. Don't be, the cover's great, but man, they got their own.
Yeah.
They got their own stuff that's just off the chain too.
Yeah,
It's
and your
very
recordings are very good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you. What's funny with Come Undone, I mean, we're just learning things as we go. You know, we didn't
That's
know what
everyone.
to do, and we did the worst thing for release. We released it in December when the billboards are over.
Oh.
You know, and we released it, and immediately we got booked for all kinds of things that following year. I mean, festivals, this and that. We were going to end up going over, overseas and playing, and we were so excited for it. We're like, wow, this thing is great. And COVID hit,
Yeah.
and we
Wah,
were
wah,
like,
wah, wah.
everything got canceled and so forth.
Yeah.
But then we ended up getting some award, one World Music Award for that song as the best rock single, and so
Wow, very cool.
something out of the UK. So we're
Yeah.
like, all right, that's cool. At least I got some notice. But the thing is, then after COVID, well, it was already a year old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or considered 2 years because we came out in December of 2019.
That's right.
So now it didn't matter what month. It's 2019 branded.
I never thought. I never remember. Well, I didn't think that. I can't remember that song coming out at that time. But yeah, it did.
But there's so many victims of that, you know.
Oh,
from
God,
COVID.
yeah.
I mean, just
Yeah.
countless.
Oh yeah.
Everybody in the arts, you know, got
Hey,
nailed by that.
Hey,
know?
can you imagine spending X amount of money with your little band and you're putting all your money together for this thing, or your big band and you made a big album that and then all of a sudden you're going to go out and support it, but guess what? Poof.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
to the people that depended on that, you know, those shows, because that's all they do, you
Yeah.
know, and they were just stuck with nothing, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when you think that you can just make, you know, you're gonna get another show, you're gonna make more money, and then all that just stops. It's
Yeah.
horrible, man.
Yeah, you better hope that you wrote a really
bad.
bad album that you weren't proud of right then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, a
that's-
lot of victims of that. Yeah,
But the cover was a fluke. Like I was really against doing covers, and then after a while I was like, if I was to do one, what would I do? And so I didn't give it much thought. And I think I was driving to my brother's house, and then the song came on, the original one, and I was like, I remember this song. This is good. It has a really good vibe.
oh, Duran's
And
good.
so,
real good.
but I never really listened to them.
Oh,
That's
wow.
the thing.
I
It
loved
just
it.
it just
No,
happened
they're
to it just
huge.
happened to come on. Like I know of them and everything,
Yeah.
you know. And my wife loves the '80s, like
Yeah, yeah.
Tears and everything, you know. So, but I just happened to remember that song as it played, and I was like, oh, I remember. And the female that sings on it is amazing. Like her voice is spot on.
Did
And I just called Jeremy, and I was like, hey, do you know this song from Duran Duran? He's like, yeah,
Yeah, hell
And
yeah.
I was like, play it. You know, just learn it. And
He likes older music. I hear him,
Yeah.
you know, playing a lot of stuff that's older, you know, generation stuff. And
Yeah, and so we just
so I can imagine him hitting on that.
the next day at band rehearsal, we're like, hey, look, just listen to this. So we just tried it, and everybody was like, yeah, totally. And we decided to just play it live. We weren't going to record it. We just played it live at Scout Bar. And the guy that we were recording with before, Brad Lambert, he heard it and he was like, man, that was amazing. Why are we not recording this?
Yeah.
We're like, oh, we're just playing around. You know, he just wanted something for the show. And he's like, no, I want to record it. And so that's why we went through.
Yeah.
Didn't you dedicate that song to your brother or something? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. Yeah. So we went in and we started recording and everything. And then I hadn't recorded my vocals yet. And we had a show with Puddle of Mud coming up. And so the plan is we were going to record that there and everything, you know, the footage. And then my brother passed away. And we had already paid for the studio time for the song and everything. So everybody from the band was like, well, just go in there. I mean, you bury your brother like on, you know, Wednesday, and they're like, hey, go record this Friday. You're like,
Merry Christmas.
I'm not
Yeah.
trying to. And then play the show on Saturday. And it's like, I'm not trying to. You just, no, it just, I wasn't there. And, but they were like, just go in there. And if something happens, cool. And if it doesn't, don't worry about it, but just go. And I went in there, and man, I must have bawled like a baby. I don't know how many times. It took forever. I could not sing. Brad, and I think somebody else was in there with him too. They were just really good. They were really respectful. He knew exactly what was going on. I know he could hear me hurt on the mic, and he would just be like, take your time, and he would just shut off the intercom from the other side so that, because he's in a different room. And then eventually you'll hear me on the mic, you know, again, and I'm, hey, you ready to try it again? All right, and so forth. Then eventually, you know, I was like, just mustered up, and I'm like, I'm just going to just burst it out. And we were going through it, and he was like, oh, man. He's like, I could hear the pain in your tone. He's like, but that's it. That's what's
special.
going to deliver this so
Yeah, because
good.
it's fantastic.
And,
It translates. you
yeah.
know. It does.
And Brad did a great job. He did all our beginning stuff, all the beginning songs and everything. And
Those are the best singers that have had pain in their lives. You know, you feel it. You know.
And
Yeah.
the show went great too. That was rough. That was really rough. And and so a lot of our fans knew that my brother had passed, and I got a little choked up before the song started, and I was talking about it, and I turned around and I looked at Rich, our drummer, and he's looking right at me, and he's like, "You got this, man. You got this." And then people started cheering, and you know, this and that. I'm like, and I was thinking like, "Oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna make it all the way through." And he's like, "You got this. You got this." So he cues Jeremy like, just start the song, just start playing, so that it's kind of like you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You got to go. He knew that if I'm thrown in a situation,
Battle time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Adapt and overcome, right? So he threw me right in, and so I just let it out, and Wade did the video stuff for it, and he did an amazing job, and I really like that video. You know? So
Yeah, I did too.
and it's out there at Wildcatters, which is really, really cool. So yeah, that was more from our
Awesome. How did you get into singing, music?
by
that.
by accident.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I never sang or anything like that. I was a DJ for a long time.
Okay.
And then that's my cat. And one day I was DJing at this little bar, and these guys came from overseas to work with Halliburton, and they gave me the CD, and he's like, "You ever heard of Audio Slave?"
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, "Who?" You know, and, you know, I wasn't listening to rock music, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll play it." He's like, "I'll give you $20 if you play a song." So I was, first track, boom. I was like, "Wow, love this. I love
Wow.
this tone. Like, this is good." And the voice was just like, wow. It just captured me. And
With Chris Cornell.
Yep.
yeah, Chris
Yeah.
Cornell, man. Damn, I was like, wow. Before that, the only rock I listened to was Linkin Park.
Wow.
You know, and then eventually I was like, you know what? I can write a song. And only I wanted to play drums because that's what I knew. I knew how to play drums. But a friend of mine had a drum kit. Somebody else had a guitar. Somebody else had a bass.
Yeah.
And being a DJ, you have a PA system. So
Yeah.
they were like, well, you got the sound, and the mic, just pick up the mic. And I'm like, I don't want to sing.
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to sing? I'm just going to yell. And they were like, yeah, what do you know? And I was like, I know a few Linkin Park songs and this. Just do it. And then that's how it started. So
Wow.
I got stuck with it. And then, you know, just playing random covers, with friends.
Yeah.
And then as it went, I was like, all right, I want to write my own original stuff,
Yeah.
make my own music in my image,
Cool.
and hence Inner Image.
Inner
And
Image.
then
Cool.
from there, it just evolved. And then like after we did the first album, which is actually the only album, we were like, all right, let's take this serious. And we all went back, got lessons, like a vocal
Yeah.
coach and everything, and
Cool.
then been going. And
Who was your vocal coach?
his name is David Guerra.
David Guetta.
Guetta.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of him.
Really, really good guy. And yeah, and still go back here and there. And he helps me, especially because a lot of the newer music has changed where it's not so heavy, so
Yeah.
I have to sing better. And I mean, I'm not that good start, but he gets me there. And Wade, of course, Wade really helps me out. Gets me exactly where I need to be. But I mean, then from there, it's like, all right, I guess I'm going to sing. So now I'm here.
And you're
No,
killing it.
You're
now,
doing a great-
now I don't have a choice.
You're doing a great job with it,
Yeah.
man. You very much.
Thanks.
And so you play the drums. You play guitar at all?
Nope.
No.
Not at all. It's something I think it'd be cool, but no, I'm not that talented to jump around. I'll be like, nah, I'm gonna just stick to something.
Yeah,
I enjoy writing.
Yeah.
I enjoy singing. I enjoy creating the beats and so forth. So I'll play out melodies like a piano or something. So if something comes to mind, I'm like, hey, this is how I want it done. Kind of
Yeah.
play it out, and then the guitarists will give me something like that, so they know what I'm after.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I'm looking for this kind of tone and so forth, and then we just start,
Well, that's cool.
developing, and then
Well, if you can do piano, that's pretty good. That helps.
yeah. I mean, that way at least I know I'm like, okay, I'm looking for da da da
Yeah.
da, and then I just go on the piano like, it's like
Yeah.
okay, this is the note, this is the.
So that helps you
skill
guitarists
that I-
know where you're wanting to,
Yeah,
to go
exactly.
to. So
Yeah.
that's very helpful.
Yeah, definitely having people that, are pro or at least semi-pro, know what they're doing. That means a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm not pro, and but they're really good.
Yeah,
Jeremy's
very-
really good.
yeah,
He's
very good
phenomenal,
guitarist, drummer.
and Rich.
Yeah.
Rich's creativity.
Yeah.
It's great. And this guy's really good. So when I have something in my mind, I could literally just da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, and then they pick it up and they're like, okay, this is what you're going, and I'm like at this beat, this BPM and so forth, and then they'll just jump on it. And
Cool.
it works.
Doug, you gonna be okay?
I think so, man. Still got that cough every once in a while. That's our sound effects.
Yeah.
We got a. I was going to ask. You have anything planned next? So you just released that, so I know it's probably going to be about 200 years till you release another one.
So you have one album, you said,
Yeah, we've
One
only
full
came
length.
out one full length album. Everything else has been singles.
singles. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, when NASCAR and 704 Games picked up our first song from that first album, they put it on NASCAR Heat 2.
Cool.
Then we were like, all right, maybe we should just do singles and
Yeah, it
just
kinda seems like the
just
path that a lot of
really
people do.
focus on making just
A really badass
a
song.
really badass song,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then like 2 years later, they were
And then
like,
shop it out.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad plan.
2 years later, they just reached out and they were like, "Hey, your song was the best one on that game. What else do you guys have?" And
Oh,
we
nice.
had just came out with Breaking Even like a day ago, and we sent it to them, and within like an hour and a half, they messaged back. They're like, "We want it," so they bought
Very
that one too.
cool.
So like, all right, let's just keep it going.
That's
so now
not-
we've just been doing,
Yeah.
singles.
Well, if that's
really.
working, then
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, it's very different than most people, anybody actually that I know on.
Well, post pandemic has changed so much.
Yeah,
anyway.
it has, and their approach from it is, it's so different than everybody else I know. It's like catered
And that's
to,
all industries, not just music.
Yeah, I know.
Everything's
Yeah.
changed everywhere.
Yeah, because information is out there instantly now.
Yeah.
That it isn't like before where, somebody comes out with an album, you have to go to the music store.
Yeah.
And if they're playing it there, that you can listen to it. You can listen to the song and decide whether or not you want to buy the album. Now it's just like, oh, anything that is streaming and the music's out there for free, you don't have to pay for anything and so forth. There's tons of music, just everywhere in an instant that you can come out with something, and if you didn't push it and hype it and promote it within a month,
Yeah.
It's considered old.
Yeah.
It's kind of
It's-
shelled.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like, that came out a month ago.
It's basically, if you're thinking, it's like, imagine the jet stream is above you by only 20 feet above your head, and it's blowing and going, just straight stream of air going a certain way, but there's 1 million balloons in it, and you have one balloon in, and you let it in the air, and it goes zoop. But that's easily how it can be put out today, but it's also easily how it can get lost today. So yeah, it's a dual edged sword. Like I said, Famous got a lot of good traction, but man, I am of the firm belief that that song, even now, if somebody hears it, like I said, man, that's crazy how good that song is.
So y'all have y'all have had a couple songs picked up now. Do y'all have any sponsorships by anyone?
No, I mean,
Sticks, cymbals, drums.
at one point we did. We had quite a bit of different things, but that's because we were focusing on doing shows,
That's the difference.
and then we were like, you know what, shows are fun, but that's not gonna get our music in places we've never been,
Yeah.
or places that just would cost a lot of money to go and play in front of a crowd and get a couple, 100 fans or something. When today, the internet, we can just come out with the song, do the right marketing strategy, and you put it out there. And if it's good, it gets picked up, people hear it, and people buy it, and you get to see the analytics come in.
Yeah.
You break it down to the time when who clicked on what links or what keywords they searched to find you, or what playlists is your music being added to, and so forth. Like, one of the songs on Breaking Benjamins, and another one's on this other, on Imagine Dragons stuff, or just different things. So then you're like, okay, this is how we need to work it.
So where are you getting that data from?
Oh man, you got to piece it all together. Everything from Apple Music, from your Pandora, from Spotify, your YouTube, all your social media, different channels. And that's the thing. Today's world is on all those different platforms. So if you're not on one or the other, you're missing a whole other audience, because there'll be there'll be somebody that says, "Oh, I don't even use Instagram." Now they have the new one that is the Instagram. What is Twitch? Something else that now came out, and then
There's X and Meta.
X is what was
Twitter.
Twitter, but now there's another one that is based off Instagram. People jump there, and then of course some people are just like, well, all I do is TikTok, and so that's the thing, is you have all these audiences on certain platforms.
Yeah.
So you could do 5 of them, but if you're missing one, well, you're missing a whole other audience.
Yeah.
So the marketing, that's the key.
Yeah, even on our podcast stuff, and I've studied some of what the analytics on our numbers on where on each, but I haven't. There's some of the platforms I haven't even delved into, because if you go through like we do on our podcasts, our server, then it goes to Amazon, it goes to
Dozen
Spotify,
plus places.
goes a ton of them, even the ones that I have never listened to from. But it's amazing that where that spreads out today. But
Threads, that's the new one.
Threads.
I had that too. I haven't
Threads.
I've never
downloaded.
heard that.
Yeah, no, I haven't downloaded. In fact, who did that come from? Because look,
Instagram.
yeah, see, I have it too, but I've not. Yeah, it's a new.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, so that came from Instagram, and of course, Instagram is connected to Meta, which is part of Facebook.
Yeah.
But now Google bought out Facebook, so Google's the big conglomerate. I mean,
Wait, did they really?
yeah, they got it. a long
Have I
time
not
ago.
been paying attention?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta look at all that, and so that's the thing. That's the reason why the algorithms change, and so
Yeah.
that's the other aspect.
Did you know this?
The thing,
Yeah, I
yeah.
heard
When it comes to from a marketing aspect, you have to keep up with the algorithms, because the same methods you probably used 3 months ago are changing. you know. So you kind of you keep up with it and so forth. And I mean, it's hard to keep up with everything, of course, naturally.
And all your guys have full-time gigs too.
Yeah, we all full-time gigs, and
Wow.
and my full-time gig is marketing.
Yeah.
for an IT company.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah, that's exactly where he fits in. Yeah.
That's where I get to fit in.
Your
'cause
analytics,
yeah, and we, you know, we're, what do you call it? You know, we're our own unit. You know,
Yep.
all the
Self-contained unit,
self-contained unit. You know, so the funds and the work that we put into it, that's exactly where we're gonna get out of it.
Okay.
You know, if we half-ass something and say, maybe we don't need to push it this way or something, and guess what? That's the results we're gonna get back.
That's what you're going to
Yeah,
get back.
yeah,
Yeah. A lot of times people don't understand that, but if you give a, well, maybe I shouldn't. No, you get what you get. I mean, every once in a billion years you get lucky, but majority of the time, what you put in is what you're going to get
Yeah.
back.
Nobody's gonna do your work for you.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But shows are fun. So
Shows
I
are
mean,
fun.
yeah.
For
Shows,
me, like-
shows are fun. If there's a great crowd,
Yeah.
oh man, the energy and the hype is a lot of fun. But if you, let's say if you have a crowd and let's say you're at a festival and you play and and you got whatever 20,000, 30,000 people out there and everybody's jumping around, how many of them do you think are actually going to pull out their phone and follow you and look you guys up?
Yeah.
They're probably halfway more than wasted.
Yeah.
And what day you're playing, and they're just like having a phenomenal time. Like, yeah, that was awesome. So unless they're really paying attention, you didn't make fans. You just were. It was just a lot of fun. It was a great entertainment.
And this, like I said, this is what I'm telling you makes them the most analytical music machine. Not a group, they're the analytical music machine. That's what
Yeah.
they do, man. I mean, it's very different.
Well, you can
But-
tell they're all pretty sharp. You're all smart guys and stuff. So
Thanks.
Yeah.
Except Jeremy.
Okay,
His
like,
I don't know about that, Kunas.
like I said, we would be kicking people on the side here today, but
he's got a smart haircut.
yeah, he's got a smart haircut. He's got a
does.
military haircut.
He does have military.
And we make fun of him. We're like, hey, were you the guy that said I was gonna go in? Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
That's
I was
funny.
gonna win the lottery,
I
but
was
then
I was
didn't.
gonna. Yeah,
It's hilarious.
it's different, but like I said, it's really a cool, unique approach, and they're not trying to be the other guy. They're trying to be quite different, and I like that. No, trust me, I get like, come on, man, I want to see y'all because I bugged him about that. But I like what he does. So
Thank you.
it's a very unique approach.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, like me, I like going and playing shows just because I want to go out and play my guitar.
Yeah.
Loud. That's it.
And and that's the thing, that's it's not so much like going after it and being like, oh, we got to make this the next big hit.
Yeah.
It's really just about making the music and having fun. So whether
Yeah.
you're in the studio and you just like to put it out there, or you're like, you know what, it could be an open mic or just a little gig or whatever. I just want to play it, just do it.
And that is a goal
But-
of mine too, is
yeah.
to record something because we've never done that together. My band and all
man.
that. So we've
Yeah.
never just done it. Just
Do
we
it.
need to though.
Do it, put it out there, and then just be like, hey, if it does something, cool. I will say there's nothing better than making fans that have zero relationship to you and they don't know you and you don't know, and they're not somebody's friend that
And they
heard it
feel-
from somebody. I mean, when we
Yeah.
had people like across the world message us and they're like, I listened to your song and it helped me and I
Yeah.
was depressed and it was awesome. And I'm like, who is this? And it's written in a different language. And it's
That's
like,
pretty cool,
wow, like this is,
Yeah,
this
because
was
you've
cool.
actually hooked somebody and
You
not
touch
just
someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's good.
It's like, anybody know this person from Belarus? Because I don't.
Wow,
and
that's awesome.
And it's cool. And then they just start buying shirts and stuff online. Or
Yeah, that
something.
is-
It's
that
like-
is very
like-
unique.
Like, that's a fan.
Yeah.
They found us and they made a fan.
But then you got to keep your head straight, right? Because that could get kind of that could kind of get you in a different position mentally. Like, oh man, do I need to go somewhere, do something different now?
yeah.
Go all in or something? Quit my day job and just go all in.
For me,
You know?
hey, if it works, don't fix it.
Yeah.
or if it's not broken, don't
Yeah,
fix
don't
it.
fix it. Yeah.
But do work on improving it.
Yeah.
But always evolve and improving it.
Well, it sounds
But
like what
don't-
you're doing
don't
is
change.
working. So, yeah.
Now
Very
who's that guy? Who's that one?
Rich.
That's the drummer.
That's who was there. That was
Yeah.
who there. Is he the one from Louisiana?
No, that's the little army
No.
pup.
Okay, yeah. The other one, yeah, that's the guy that was there. And didn't Ray fill in the other day?
Yeah, Raph.
Yeah.
Raph.
Yeah.
Jeremy was at the show Saturday.
Jeremy at the show limping around.
Yeah, he had a broke toe and a.
Well, this is who I saw.
broken
Yeah,
hand,
that's who I, and I always
up
forget
hand.
the names.
Pimp with a limp.
I'm
That
like,
was,
yeah, God. yeah.
Limp Biscuit.
Yeah. He had a limp biscuit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Raph filled in and
Yeah,
Dave.
Raph was there.
And man, these guys just
But
the
both were
minute we
guitarists,
said-
right?
Yeah.
Because I think the last couple of times or a few times I've seen y'all don't have a bassist, right?
No, not
Okay.
anymore. We started going the 30 Seconds to Mars route and just like filtering out. And like, oh, okay, let's
Like-
just not
like Metallica,
let's just
they did.
not, you know. And so little by
So y'all
little,
don't
we
play.
just
Y'all don't
started-
put a bass on your tracks.
We do, and it's
Okay.
all studio.
Okay.
You know, and then we use the backing track.
Okay.
You know,
so
for-
so in a live show you'll use a bass backtrack.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
You know, unless we decide, all right, let's get a bass player to fill in
Yeah.
for the show.
Are y'all
You know.
using in ears and stuff?
No,
Oh wow.
no. You know, and I've heard that a lot. People are like, yeah, you should probably use in ears and so forth. But we don't.
Is Rich using in ears though to keep?
Yes, he does.
Okay, so that's-
yeah. So he does.
Because that could get real tricky when you don't
Yeah.
have
If you
click
don't
and all
have-
that.
yeah.
Yeah, He has his in ear, so he's just going off of the vibe. You know,
Okay.
he's just back there looking at everybody's butts. You know,
Best seat in the house.
That's it, right?
what
Just
they
keeping
say.
count, right? Best seat
Yeah.
in the house.
Does he use a click track? Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay,
He
that's
he
good.
listens to his click track in there, and you know he does a great job with it. You know,
Yeah,
he
that's-
sets everything up and so forth, and
That's
we
good.
so we go to the groove, and but like everything, of course, you know, you practice it out and you practice your show. What you're
Yeah,
gonna
because you
do.
can't really mess up when you're backtracking, right?
Oh, you'll be surprised. I mean,
Yeah.
it really depends. So many things happen. Well, here
Yeah.
at this last show, sound guy decided I'm just gonna shut it off.
Oh no.
And so he shut it off during our song "In the Sea," and
The in ear.
yeah, well, Rich was hearing it in his in ear,
Yeah.
but the sound wasn't out, and so amazingly, it ended up being a little more intimate of a song
Yeah.
because there were parts that were kind of cut off.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't hear it. So that's when I went all the way up to the front of the stage and I was singing it. And then the guitarist kind of heard.
Kinda
so
followed you.
they kind of followed. So they played
Yeah.
it a little clean, a little nicer.
I got you.
You know, and so forth. And then that's why then at the end of the song, we're like, hey, sound guy.
Yeah.
You know, and then they're like, all right, now it works. I'm like,
Oh crap.
Yeah, nice.
yeah. Like,
nice job.
Like, leave it alone.
Yeah. Don't
I don't
touch
know.
it. I know. Yeah.
If, you know, shit happens. So but that's what practice is for, you know, and you know,
and you're professional. You just get on with it. And,
I just get on.
make it
You know what?
happen,
I'm there to sing the song. I'm gonna sing the song regardless.
Yeah.
You know, I rely on my team to do their part, and you know, they're playing their beats, playing their music, and I'm just follow along.
yeah, because live you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I mean, you have to have contingency.
Like
plans
you
all
might
the
even
time.
break a stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. You invite somebody to come up, and
Yeah.
you guys might jump up, and that
Were-
stage
you weren't there for
breaks.
that, were you?
No.
Oh man,
Tell 'em that story.
yeah. So it was the last song, and we're playing Plastic. So
When
a
was
little
this?
Heavier at the
Saturday.
show Saturday.
Saturday?
John's
Okay.
there.
I was there the whole time.
And
Liar. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
so I call up Shane. You know,
Shane Rock.
from
BFE Shane?
No.
no,
Chasing you.
from
Oh.
Chasing Yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he comes up there, you know, he's a big dude and this and that. And he's like, yeah, this and that. So he does the song Plastic with me. In the beginning of the song, you know, we're like, get him up, get the fuck up. And we start jumping up and
Yeah.
down. So, you know,
Oh,
you know,
no.
he's a big dude, you know, I'm not tiny, but, you know, You know, I'm not as big
Car-
as
Carmen said 500 pounds
it's
of
about,
men.
Yeah, it's like 500 pounds here total. And we're jumping up and down, blah, blah, and we feel the stage just sink, like, break in. But right at that moment, we look at each other and we just yell, ah! And so we just start jumping on another part of the stage. And we just
Yeah.
continue to rock out the entire thing. He came up there. Man, that was so much fun. He's screaming his ass off. He's
Yeah.
jumping around. He's keeping up with everything and so forth. And
Yeah,
you
he
know,
always brings it.
yeah. And
For
he was
sure.
and he was saying, he was like, man, I'm so excited. He's like, I'm so happy you brought me up there. I was like, you're happy. I was like, we're happy you came up there. That was awesome. And
There's some video of that running around.
Oh, I have to see.
Yeah.
So in other words, they were working on some stage maybe Sunday, right? Is what you telling me?
yeah,
they're gonna have to.
Yeah, they're gonna have to.
Yeah.
That front part is
It's toast.
yeah.
Oh man,
So, I mean, sometimes you get hype.
Heavy,
the little
Sometimes you
cat.
get-
That was a little catwalk for it.
Yeah.
heavy metal.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, I think out of all the times I played, this is the third stage that are broken.
Oh wow,
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
it's just stomping around, just rocking out.
As long as you don't do like a
As long as I don't.
Post Malone or something like that, where where you go through the.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that sucked.
That could be bad.
Yeah. No, this is just for me jumping around. One place I think was in Louisiana, and then man, where did we break the other one? Oh, I've cracked stuff over at BFE. That was funny. One
Yeah.
time too. I don't remember where I don't remember where the other one was. I
Yeah,
know one
I've been on
was in
some where
Louisiana.
I've been on some where you walk and you're like, ooh, that's not
Yeah.
good.
Shifty. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not. No.
Oh, the other one was I think Tyler.
Oh, wow.
I think out in
Clicks?
Tyler. I don't remember.
In the
And then
trees.
we're just stomping, blah, blah, and then I felt my foot just
Oh.
break right through it, and like yeah, and everybody just starts yelling like they saw it,
Yeah.
and they're like fuck that stage, or like just
Yeah.
I mean not all our songs are heavy or anything, but
Yeah.
that just happened. If it's heavy, we're gonna rock the fuck out.
Well, if you're bringing
That's
it,
for
you're
sure.
bringing it. That's
Yeah,
that's
if
all
you're bringing
that
it, you're
matters,
bringing
right?
it. Yeah,
We're leaving nothing. In that's the way to do it. man.
right.
Yeah.
So we're just like get some, and but that's
Yeah.
fun.
Do you anything on the calendar coming up that we need to know about?
Actually, no, we decided to
We got
take
Jeremy
a little,
healing.
Jeremy's healing,
Yeah.
and as it gets closer here to the holidays, normally we just kind of we take our time with
That is very much y'all.
with our families. I have
Yeah.
a daughter that's getting married, and
Oh, cool.
and then
Wait, the one I met?
Christmas comes. Yeah, the one that was at the show.
Oh, that's right. She
That's
did
awesome.
tell me that. I tried
She gets
I tried to
married
talk-
this Sunday.
Oh wow!
I tried to talk
Congratulations.
her out of it, man. But look at me, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Just because you've been married 8 times, don't mean everybody else is going to.
8. I've only heard of 7. Of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, that's awesome, man. You have a very nice family, and
Thank you.
we're
They're
gonna
100% different than I am, but
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
that's what the balance is, right?
it's the
Yeah,
unit. Yeah,
sure.
that's right.
That's the balance.
Yeah.
Makes the unit at home perfect. That's good, man.
Yeah, yeah.
We have something that we're gonna do up in my neck of the woods with the 307 boys. Jim's has a nice setup out there. I need to get you to my house and take a look at it. We're gonna do a big boil next year. We're gonna have some. We're gonna have some.
The boil's going to be at your house or in?
It's gonna be at Jim's.
307.
Jim's has got the set. Yeah, he's got he's got a compound out there where he has a stage in his thing that looks like the stage at Wildcat or outside the outdoor one. It looks
Yeah.
like that. He's also got a set up inside a barn with a cement floor that looks like it
Yeah.
too.
Wow.
But
Sweet.
yeah, we'll do. We got something I'll get with you later on about, and I need to have you come over, and we'll go to Jim's. Yeah, like I did that. I did that with the.
But Buddy also mentioned they were having a Halloween party. I think.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I told him I think Doug's keeping that from me.
Well, that's what I do. You know, I save and I'll be a
I was
hero.
like, I haven't
mention
got
last
an
minute.
invite for that.
He's
No.
going dressed as Elvira. That's why.
That's right. That's
He's looking
right.
forward to that.
He's gonna steal the dress off the mannequin.
That's why it was there. He
Yeah.
claimed that black dress. I
Yeah,
was
he
like, I knew it. I fucking
Man,
knew
I
it.
was. I'm gonna go see. The plan is those guys that I brought in this week. They're playing actually in 2 weeks at
Nine
BF
Left Dead.
Yeah, they from Oklahoma. They're gonna come back and play at BFE. The plan is Friday to go see them with Scotty Austin up in at Legends up in Chickasaw, Oklahoma, which is a very good venue up there. I'd like to go up Thursday and catch Drowning Pool in Hayes, Kansas, which I've done that. I've been there before, but we're going to see how this goes, because I'm trying to rest as much as I possibly can for the next couple of days and just
Yeah, you don't want to be around everybody who's coughing. Or,
get one hundo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I feel guilty because I sound like I'm giving everybody something, but
Yeah.
I'm not contagious anymore, know.
Right.
So, but yeah, we didn't need to make this about me, or maybe we did. But
it's always about Dougie.
Hey man, it's all good. When you said, "Hey man, yeah, I'll cook, bring the band," I'm like, "Hey, fuck, I'll eat."
yeah, plus we need to
Yes.
do. We've been talking about doing a little cooking video and doing some stuff at my house and get you involved. But yeah, we'll definitely. See, I had to pull rank and tell his wife about that because he was including her in the stories. But then I'm like, well, where's he at? I ain't heard from him. But
Yeah. You know what? Now that we have this little hiatus going on, that's gonna be good. I mean, we're gonna come out with more stuff in the new year, but we're taking our time. We take our time when writing music. That's the thing.
that's good, man. Like I said, we'll get together sometimes between in this stretch. I know this is going to be a crazy week for the Houston area. We've got Shinedown coming in Sunday, then 4 days later, Avenged Sevenfold, which that's a good stretch, man. And
Nice.
yeah, we'll get together and we'll do
Never
some
gotten
stuff.
into Vince Sevenfold.
What's wrong with you, man?
I like
I've seen him in concert. I don't know. I just don't feel him for some reason.
I love it. Now, they can be.
I like the older stuff.
Now, a lot of people do, but he can't do that, and you know why? Because most people that have that, you're gonna scream, they can't do that, man. Your voice can't handle that for life. You know,
Yeah.
you've got to adapt, and yeah,
Unless you're the Bee Gees, then you can be falsetto all day long.
It's all day.
yeah.
So right now for Halloween, the band, now that it's only 3 of us, so we're looking at dressing up like the Bee Gees.
That's right.
That's awesome.
And playing out part of the music video.
See, that's what you need to do.
Or we're gonna go as Super Troopers, and
No, you
that's
need-
always a classic.
Or the
No,
Beastie Boys.
No, I think you need to do the Bee Gees, dude. I think you definitely need to.
They'll be the-
You need to do
those
some Robin Gibb. Have your shirt down to here with a gold chain. And,
Disco.
yeah, going like 1979.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I got a croachy voice right now. Yeah. Anyhow, Los, thanks for joining us today, man.
Hey, thanks for
Definitely.
having me here. This is cool. This is a good
fun.
little hangout. I like it.
Yeah, we've been waiting for this, man. And everybody, thanks. Please get out there and you can find Inner Image on Instagram, Facebook, every platform known to man.
Yep.
Thailand.
Thailand.
Anywhere.
Please,
Hey, we actually do have-
Belarus.
Yeah.
hey, please.
You know what? Right now for this last song, Philippines has been
Philippines.
eating it up.
Check it out.
So big shout out to Philippines.
Hell yeah.
I said family because we got family over there, but Philippines for sure, man.
Yeah.
They're killing it out there. So
A lot of Spanish in Philippines.
I mean, they're just basically,
When I was in the
half-
hospital, I had a
they're
bunch
the
of
Asians of the
yeah.
Latino community.
When I was in the hospital, they said the Philippine ladies would come. Your name's famous in the Philippines. They said Mendiola is a big artist.
Oh, I
there.
did not know that.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
know- do you-
Gutierrez, or is it Gutierrez? That's really big over there.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that name before.
And-
Was that Cajun?
They didn't want me. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Cajun
Yeah.
Gutierrez.
We went over there the first time to eat, and they almost didn't want to let us pay
Wow.
That's
awesome.
because I think like their president at the time
Yeah.
was that. So it was like, oh, so they don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
But being Mexican, they're like, oh, are you a boxer?
Right. Like you from Texas, you got horses and cowboy hats. And
Cowboy hats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't always work.
I'm
that.
like, I like hitting people, but nah, I'm not trying to go up against Pac-Man.
stuff. For real.
I ain't trying to get schooled.
No. But please
man.
like and subscribe to their stuff. You can find their music.
Yeah.
Give it a try. I'm telling you, listen to Famous. That song is unbelievable.
Keep doing what y'all doing, man.
And,
Thanks, man.
yes.
Thank you.
And we'll hit you again. This has been the Nonsense Chronicles.
Later.
Out.